You don't know of any friction between Melly and Anthony Davis at any time, Anthony Williams at any time?
Not that I know of.
And you don't know of any friction between Melly and Christopher Thomas at any time?
Not that I know of.
And you don't know of any friction that occurred at the studio that night that would cause anybody to get murdered?
Objection, Your Honor. Call for speculation.
You didn't see any friction at the studio that night of any magnitude?
I did it.
You did?
I did it.
Okay, you did. Marijuana regimen, did you smoke before you came here today?
I did not.
Okay. I have nothing. Thank you.
I should have.
For the record, what is FREDO wearing in the photograph?
A shirt. A white shirt.
Okay. So after the hospital, you went to FREDO's house,
To the best of my knowledge.
okay? And what were you doing at the house?
Still grieving.
Okay. Who took you to the hospital?
The cameraman.
Okay, do you recall his name?
Drew.
Right. Who went to the hospital with you and Drew?
Just Drew.
Okay. Who was at the house, Melly's house, before you left for the hospital?
Same people that was there when we got there.
Okay, and same people being the 4 people that entered the Mitsubishi?
Yes.
Okay. So you're at FREDO's house. FREDO's house. Where were you in FREDO's house?
Outside.
Okay. And who was at FREDO's house when you first got there?
Everybody that was in the house.
Okay. And it's because I don't know who everybody was or is, can you please specify?
Kobe, Melly. I'm on people I can remember.
Okay. Was that the first time you saw Melly after you guys left the studio?
Yeah.
Was Melly wearing the same clothes or different clothes than when you saw him at the studio?
It was a new day. Nah, he wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. You guys
Wasn't wearing the same clothes.
Okay. Do you recall what he was wearing?
Just had on some shorts.
Okay. So when you got to FREDO's house, was it light or dark outside?
Just like,
And you previously said yourself and Melly and someone else was at FREDO's house. Was FREDO there as well?
I think I did see him. I don't remember.
5 and page 6. If you can take a look, you can start in the middle and review those pages and look up when you're done. Does that refresh your recollection?
Somewhat.
Okay, so tell us what you somewhat
In the
remember.
jacket that you identified as Melly was carrying something across his side or his back on the video. Do you recall seeing that?
I guess.
Okay. Do you recall what that's referred to?
A satchel.
Okay. Can it also be commonly referred to?
Objection. Sustained.
Are you familiar with the term? I'm going to pause at 2:19:13. Does the video refresh your recollection as to anyone else that was carrying a satchel?
Yes.
Who, if anyone, was carrying a satchel?
I see Chris for one.
And that's Christopher Thomas.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in. And first and foremost, once again, I want to send condolences to the entire families, loved ones, parents, siblings, anybody going through it with the losses of YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. It's a bunch of information coming out online. There's a bunch of storylines all over the place, different things, different opinions and feelings and emotions. And I was not there. I don't know what's what. I don't know what to take with a grain of salt or take as truth or non-truth. But one thing we do know that is confirmed, 2 brothers' lives was lost in 2018 and they can't come back. And they families and people that care about them on all sides or anybody involved, that are dealing with it, they got to deal with that pain and that news forever. So most definitely condolences to all of them, and rest in peace to these two young brothers. And I'm going to have the links in the description from Law and Crime Network where y'all can watch the clips in full and get the entire context of what went on in court today, as they have been live streaming every day play-by-play of what's going on. Last week they took off on the trial, but today was day 12 as they continued. And a big piece of key evidence came in the court today with Travion Glass, who's a friend of YNW Melly and everybody who was involved in this situation right here. He was at the studio that night, and I'm going to read how they wrote it up in just a second from Law and Crime Network on a little piece. But the thing he said right there, and this is the key thing for people to understand who watch it, it's not about how you feel. It's not about how I feel. It's not about how they feel, anybody covering the news or the information feel. It's about how the jury feels inside that courtroom from what they are hearing. He didn't say that there was a motive. He didn't say that there was an argument, but he did say he saw that the clothes were changed. Now, I'm not going to come on here and say that means that he did something. That don't mean he shot nobody. That don't mean he took nobody's life. But when the jury hears that he had a change of clothes on, that will raise eyebrows. Just telling it like it is. They're going to wonder like, okay, now why was the clothes changed? They did, but he did say he never saw Melly with a gun. Didn't say he saw Melly shoot anybody. Said he didn't remember a lot from 2018. He just remembered he was grieving when they got the news. They went to the hospital, said they were at the studio. Then they brought up the video of him carrying the satchel and everything like that. They read him his past statements. He was saying, I couldn't remember everything that I spoke on from 5 years ago and things of that nature. They did ask him about his weed smoking. Then he even said in the end, because they was asking him multiple times about him smoking weed, then he ended up saying in the end when they asked him, man, I should have smoked weed before I came. But the write-up piece says this. An associate and friend of YNW Melly took the stand Monday and testified in the double murder trial. Travion Glass, who was with Melly at the recording studio before the deadly shooting, confirmed the rapper was wearing different clothes later that night when he saw him at FREDO Bang's house. And FREDO Bang's name has been mentioned before in this trial, but he is not on trial. He has not been charged, so he does not have to make a court appearance. He does not have to give any statements. He is not part of this crime. Just the phone calls after him being seen at the house and things like that make his name come up in the conversation. And this overall has been a crazy, wild trial, and we got to wait and see how everything plays out. But most definitely, condolences to all the loved ones and family, anybody going through it. They even got something crazy going on online right now talking about betting on if you think he's going to be guilty or not. And that, I'm like, bro, this world is taking the craziest turn, and I ain't seen too much like this, man. But tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos. All that 1000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot. Condolences to them brothers.